pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop.
Hello and hello. So nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, Brooke.
Bittersweet
being here with you, but
I know. I don't love it. Actually, I don't love it at all. If you've ever, I don't know if you've ever watched our podcast, but if you have, I'll tell you. If you have, you know, I live for a daddy-daughter team on The Amazing Race. I want to do it with my dad.
We saw your support.
Favorite dynamic. You two were joyous to watch. So we don't have a lot of time. So rather than just gush over you, which I could clearly do for the next 15 minutes, why don't you tell me, how did you guys get on the show? Was one of you a fan and the other needed convincing, or was this a thing you did together every week?
Yeah, so growing up, we always watched it as a family. It'd be me, my dad, my sister, my mom, and we just watch the show together and kind of joke about who we think would do the best on the show. And it was me and my dad just thought we'd make a great team. And yeah, here we are with you today.
Did you try out just the once?
Yeah, it was last year. It was finally, my dad was like, why don't we just do it? I was like, let's do it. And we recorded our audition tape and I hit submit, and now here we are.
That.
Yeah. It was
for some people, it's just that easy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so may I call you Bubblegum? Is that something that I can do? Where did this adorable nickname come from?
So she chewed a lot of bubble gum growing up, had a lot of bubble gum. But the one thing that stuck out the most was that she was about 3-4 years old.
Oh my gosh.
We were leaving the YMCA and there's this bubble gum machine there. Well, Bridget sticks her hand in it and she got stuck.
I'm three at the time.
She's stuck, but she couldn't pull her hand out. Do you know why she couldn't pull her hand out?
Well, because she wouldn't let go of the bubble gum.
Wouldn't let go of the bubble gum. Yeah.
Tenacious.
See, reframe it. Tenacity. Yes. That's what you need.
Yes, there it is.
I hope that you at least got some after you were forced.
I did.
To go. Okay, good. That's all.
They opened up my hand and there was bubble gum in it.
Right. So what did you two find to be the hardest part of the race? Was it the constant movement? Was it a language barrier? Was it the lack of sleep, the physicality? What for you guys was the thing?
We always said that our downfall, if there was a downfall, was going to be something with music and rhythm. So the physical was never going to be an issue. I mean, we've ran marathons, we've done triathlons, like we were ready physically, but we knew that if there was a challenge that was going to get us, it was going to be music. And the first leg, we managed to get through the dancing and we were like, okay, that's got to be it. There's no way they would do something like that back to back. And then we got hit with
Bridget. They gave us we had one singing challenge and it was an option. It's so funny because it depends on, your particular set of skills. I would have killed for all things music. And then you're musical. We saw you rap.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. They heard that one.
We got it, but give us some drumsticks and we'll struggle a bit.
I will say, Ernest, like watching you just pulled at my heartstrings because you could tell that you just didn't want to give up. But they showed the one point where you just dropped them and I was like, ooh, okay. I was feeling it, but coming from, I don't know if you saw mine, which is fine, but I cried every time. Like I struggled with it all and I let it get to me. So I was very inspired by you because to start in first and to just watch yourself slide and to never stop moving was it was wonderful. So, and then just the bond you had of complimenting him and not giving up on her was just so great. Wow. Did you decide beforehand, like if something musical comes up, I'm going to do it? Or did all of your discussions sort of go out the window as the race started?
We had decided that I would probably do any of the musical challenges, but I think I had just done the tower challenge and we wanted to like mix it up. And I don't think we really paused enough when reading the clue who's ready to beat the competition. We just figured, okay, strength, sumo wrestler, I don't know, something wrestling and
girl.
Yeah.
One that said sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, we just got caught up in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens. That's so real. We had one that said, who's ready for heavy metal? And my partner was like, it's music. And I was like, we're at a metal shop. It's not. But, you don't pay attention necessarily. The race blinders are a real thing. But it did seem like you guys really made up a lot of time and got to that detour when there were still a bunch of teams left. how far, if you can remember, how far behind were you after your 17th triumphant try at the drums, when you got to the detour? How long do you think everyone else had been there before you got there?
A while, like maybe like over an hour, I think they were potentially not quite sure, but when we got there, we were just shocked that there were still teams there. Yeah.
There were still teams there, and they had tried it multiple times also. We probably should have realized that and moved on to the next one.
Yeah. That was probably the hardest part watching back, was seeing what the other challenge was. But I think we just got so excited that we had caught up to the other teams that we just wanted to focus on knocking out that challenge, that maybe potentially you don't want to play the what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda game, because that sends you on a spiral. But if we maybe would have done mochi, who knows? We may not be talking to you today.
Well, I personally, in reading that, because it's all you get, think mochi seemed much harder. So I think most people
Yeah.
made the same decision as you, and were
Yeah.
like, do the wrapping. It seems faster.
Mhm.
About how long did it take for Han and Holden? How far behind them were you actually? Because we all know that editing makes it seem like it was just like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
At least maybe 10 minutes, if that.
Oh,
maybe.
you guys picked up a lot of time.
Yeah, we weren't too far behind them. There was a while where it was just me and my dad and Han and Holden, and like Han and Holden would go up, get checked out, we'd hold our breath, they'd get a no and go back, we'd go up. And so it was us for quite a bit, just like both of our teams kind of struggling. And then Han and Holden finally got it, but then maybe like not too much longer after them, we finally got it. So there was a point where we were in the cab and like, you never want to wish for someone's downfall, but
Yes,
we
you
were
do.
hoping, yeah, we were hoping that
Right.
Han and Holden may have gotten a
Flat
little
tire.
in the
Yeah.
cab department, or
Needed gasoline, whatever. Not like harm, but
yeah,
We're at least hoping for a foot race. We show up at the same time and have a foot race. I think
yeah.
Oh, I don't doubt for a second the two of you want a foot race. I
Oh, we
would
wanted the
know
foot
your
race.
triathlons and your
Yeah.
races and everything. You two are, Ernest, you are so in shape. It is incredible.
I'm trying to maintain. Thank you.
I wish to be in that shape at this age, let alone, 10 or 15 years from now. We are doing something a little bit different this year on our Purple Pants podcast, and I like to call it the Purple Pants +1. So I'm sure you're doing a lot of interviews and being asked a lot of the same questions. So I'd like to know, is there anything that nobody's asked you, or that they didn't show, or that you just want everybody to know about? So the floor is yours.
Oh man. Something that just impressed us was like the people in this whole experience. Like, I think there's going to come a time where the show gets a little more cutthroat, obviously, when people get closer to the end. But something that I don't know if it comes through as much yet is how close we've gotten with all the other teams. It's just the other teams have been amazing and so supportive, which is like, you're all competing for $1 million. Like, you wouldn't expect that, but how supportive the other teams were. We got so close with Brett and Mark and Carson and Jack because we were on that first flight with them. So just being able to bond with the other teams and like hear about other teams' stories, I just think that was awesome. Just the people, the other teams, but then also the people in the other countries. Yeah, I think.
And I think one other thing also is we were able to move so quickly and pass folks because of the relationships we built with the taxi drivers. We made it a point to know about the taxi drivers, about their families, about their countries, what they, so we made it, when we got in the cab with them, we made it about them, not necessarily about us. And because we made it about them, they felt more compelled to help us get where we needed
It's
to
like
go.
they're competing with us.
Like, you listen to what we said. I've always said, find their name, make them part of your team. They work more if they feel like they're on. They don't care if you're racing for $1 million. They're not going to pay that money. They care to be a part of it. And I love that that's the way that you thought. You could tell that the warmth came through in everything that you two did together.
Thank you. Thank you.
I assume the answer is a resounding yes, but if they call you back and say, pack your bags.
Easiest yes.
Hey, Cato's need a do-over. Cato's, let's go. Cato's need a do-over.
Wrap it. Just wrap it, Bridget. We got to
Cato's
Oh my
need a do-over.
God. I just think Yeah, we need a do-over. We need more physical challenges. We need to jump out of a plane. I just think too many musical things back to back. I would love a do-over.
I am gonna go get dancing classes. I'm gonna go get drumming class.
He's gonna be ready to hit the drums.
I mean, by the end, you were very into it. I saw it. I loved it. It was great. You two were a pleasure to watch. I really do hope that we get to see you again very soon. I hope I get to meet you at one of the upcoming events.
I would love that.
And not just because the daddy-daughter teams are my favorite. Don't tell anybody else, because I say it out loud all the time. The two of you were just precious. Like, I just smiled on my face the whole time, and tears when it ended. And to hear the way that you talked, Ernest, about Bridget at the end was just, I'm not going to say I was sobbing, but I was sobbing, because that's what I do. But I really, really appreciate you talking with me. This was such a pleasure, although it was several weeks too soon. But thank you again so much. This has been the Purple Podcast Pit Stop Exit Interview with Ernest and Bubblegum. Thanks, guys.
So much. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you.
So nice to meet you too.
I like your initials.
BC.
I like your initials.
Goodness, BC and BC.
Maybe we can run together next time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.